The little girl's voice was so quiet, Mariah Carey almost walked right past her. Almost. But something made her stop. Maybe it was her eyes. Or maybe it was the way she was shaking in the freezing New York December wind, holding that plastic water bottle like it was the only thing keeping her alive. She'd been leaving the recording studio. Tired, drained, head full of melodies and harmonies. The new album was almost done. She just wanted to get home. But then she heard it. That small voice. Please. Just $1, please. She turned around. And there she was, standing on the corner in a coat 3 sizes too big, shoes with holes, hands so red from the cold they looked raw. Maybe 9 years old. Maybe younger. Hard to tell. But it was her eyes that got her. Empty. Like she'd already given up. Like this was just what life was now. Mariah felt something twist in her chest. She'd seen that look before. In the mirror. 25 years ago. How long you been out here? She asked, walking closer. The girl looked up. Her eyes widened. Her mouth fell open. She knew who she was. She couldn't finish. Her whole body started shaking. Not from the cold. From something else. Disbelief maybe, fear, hope. My mom, she whispered. She listens to you every single day. Tears filled her eyes, but she blinked hard. Wouldn't let them fall. She's really sick and I'm trying to help, but nobody wants to buy water and I don't know what else to do. Her voice broke. Mariah knelt down, got to her level. Eye to eye. Where's your mom right now? The girl bit her lip, looked away, like maybe she shouldn't say, like maybe this was a secret. Home. We had to leave the hospital. We can't pay anymore. The doctor said. She stopped. Swallowed hard. They said there's nothing else they can do. The words hung in the cold air between them. Mariah already knew what that meant. She'd heard those words before. About people she loved. What's your name? Lily. Okay, Lily, I need you to take me to your mom. Right now. Lily's head snapped up. What? You heard me. Take me to your mom. She hesitated, stared at her like maybe this was some kind of trick, like maybe if she blinked she'd disappear, like maybe she was dreaming. You're serious? Dead serious. Let's go. Lily dropped the water bottles right there on the sidewalk, started walking fast, too fast, like she was afraid she'd change her mind. Mariah followed. They walked through streets she knew too well. Broken streetlights, graffiti on every wall, the kind of neighborhood where you minded your business, where you didn't ask questions, where survival was the only thing that mattered. Lily kept looking back, making sure she was still there. My mom's gonna freak out, she said quietly. She thinks you're like, I don't know, an angel or something. She plays your music all the time, even when she's in pain, even when she can barely breathe. Something about the way Lily said it made Mariah's stomach drop. How bad was this? They stopped in front of an old apartment building. Paint peeling off in chunks, front steps cracked and crumbling. Lily pulled out a key. Her hands were shaking. She led her up 3 flights of stairs. The walls had water damage. The railing was loose. Everything smelled like mold and old cigarettes. When they reached a door on the 3rd floor, Lily stopped. Turned to look at her. She doesn't know you're coming, Lily whispered. She might think she's hallucinating. The pain medication makes her see things sometimes. Mariah nodded. It's okay. I'm here. Lily turned the key, pushed the door open. The smell hit her first. Sickness, medication. Something else underneath she couldn't name. Death, maybe. The apartment was tiny. A living room barely big enough for a couch and TV. Kitchen in the corner. But it was clean, organized, like someone was trying really hard to hold everything together. What caught Mariah's eye was the wall, covered in photos. Dozens of them. All of the same woman, young, dark-haired, smiling, full of life. In some she was holding a guitar. In others she was on stage, performing, living. That's my mom, Lily said quietly, from before she got sick. Mariah moved closer to the photos. There was something familiar about the woman's face. Something she couldn't quite place. She made music? Yeah, a long time ago. Before I was born. She doesn't talk about it much. Says it hurts too much to remember. Lily walked toward a bedroom door, knocked softly. Mom, you awake? A weak voice answered. Lily? Baby, you're home already. Did you make any money? Yeah, I did, and I brought someone. Don't freak out, okay? Lily pushed the door open, gestured for Mariah to follow. She stepped inside, and what she saw made her breath catch in her throat. A woman lay in the bed, so thin she could see every bone, scarf wrapped around her head where her hair should have been, dark circles under her eyes so deep they looked like bruises, an IV stand next to the bed with bags of fluid, oxygen tubes in her nose, pills scattered on the nightstand. But when she saw her, something happened. Her eyes went wide, really wide. Her hand flew to her mouth. "No," she whispered. "No, the medication's making me see things again." "You're not real." Mariah moved closer, sat down carefully in the chair next to her bed. "I'm real," she said gently. "Your daughter brought me here." The woman stared at her. Tears started streaming down her face. "Why?" Her voice cracked. "Why would you? You don't even know us. Tell me your name." The woman swallowed. Sarah Martinez. The name didn't mean anything to Mariah. But that face, something about it. "Lily says you listen to my music." Sarah let out a sound between a laugh and a sob. "Every day. For years. Your music's the only thing that keeps me going. When the pain gets too bad, when I can't sleep, when I want to give up, I put on your songs and I remember." She stopped, looked at Lily. "I remember I have to keep fighting. For her." "Mom used to make music too," Lily said. "She was really good. She had dreams like you." Mariah looked at Sarah, really looked at her, past the sickness, past the pain, trying to see who she used to be. "That true?" Sarah nodded slowly. "A long time ago, in another life, I was nobody, just a girl with a guitar and big dreams." Her eyes got distant. "I really thought I could make it. I was stupid. What happened?" Mariah asked. Sarah closed her eyes. "My dad got sick, cancer. I used all my savings taking care of him. When he was gone, I met this guy. Said he was a producer. He took everything, made me sign fake contracts, then disappeared. I tried to find him, but the company didn't exist. So I gave up, got pregnant, had Lily. Her father left when she was 2. I worked 3 jobs raising her alone. Then I got sick. Stage 3 lung cancer. Never smoked. Just bad luck." Mariah felt like she'd been punched. This woman, this little girl, this was her. Her story, different details. Same pain, same struggle, same system that chewed people up and spit them out. "Listen to me, Sarah," she said. Her voice was firm, clear. "Tomorrow morning you're going to the hospital. The best hospital in New York. I'm covering everything, all of it, treatment, medication, whatever it takes." She turned to Lily. "And you? You're never selling water on the street again. You're going to school. You're gonna be a kid. That's it. Understand?" Lily started crying. Really crying. Sarah just stared at her. "Why?" she whispered. "Why would you do this? You don't owe us anything." Mariah stood up. "Because 25 years ago somebody gave me a chance. Somebody believed in me when the whole world said I was nothing. And I swore if I ever got the power to do the same for someone else, I would." She paused. "Today's that day." She pulled out her phone, called her manager first, explained the situation, then called Mount Sinai Hospital, asked for the head of oncology. "Got her on the line. I've got a patient for you. Stage 3 lung cancer. Aggressive. She needs the best care you can give. Money's not an issue. I want her admitted tomorrow morning. Can you do that?" The doctor said yes. Of course she said yes. When Mariah hung up, Sarah was still staring at her. Like she wasn't real. Like this couldn't be happening. "Tomorrow," she repeated. 9 a.m., a car will pick you up. I'll be there." She moved toward the door. Stopped. "One more question. What was your stage name? Back when you made music?" Sarah's voice was barely a whisper. "Butterfly. I called myself Butterfly." Something clicked in Mariah's mind. Small, distant, but there. Butterfly. Where had she heard that name? Before she could think about it more, Lily ran to her, threw her arms around her waist, held on tight. Didn't say anything. Didn't need to. Mariah put her hand on her head, felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Real purpose. She left the apartment, walked back to her car, but she couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than she understood. Something about Sarah, about her face, about that name, Butterfly. It nagged at her all the way back to the studio. The next morning, Mariah was at Mount Sinai. When the ambulance arrived, she walked with them, Sarah in a wheelchair, Lily holding her hand. They ran tests all morning. At 2 p.m., Dr. Chen, head of oncology, came out. "The cancer's advanced," she said. "No sugarcoating. Stage 3. Very aggressive. But she's stronger than she looks. There's a treatment protocol we can try. Aggressive chemo, radiation, it's gonna be rough. Really rough. And I can't promise anything. But there's a chance." A chance. Sometimes that's all you needed. "Do it," Mariah said. "Whatever it takes." Over the next few weeks, Mariah visited almost every day, brought food for Lily, talked to Sarah when she was awake, sat quietly when she wasn't. She learned about her. Upper West Side originally, factory worker dad. Taught herself guitar at 12. First song at 14. Dreamed big, just like she did. "Did you ever perform at the Blue Note?" Mariah asked one day. Sarah's eyes got distant. "Once, in 1991. People laughed, but I went on anyway. There was this young woman there. After my set, she came up to me and said, 'Don't let them laugh. If you really want this, nothing can stop you.'" Mariah's heart raced. 1991, the Blue Note. A dark-haired girl with a guitar. She remembered. She'd reminded her of herself. "I remember you," she said quietly. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I thought maybe you would. But I wasn't sure. It was so long ago." "What did you say back to me?" Mariah asked. "I said, if you make it big, don't forget where you came from. That's where the real power is." Mariah felt her throat tighten. She'd said that. She'd carried those words with her for years. And now here she was, the girl from the Blue Note, dying in a hospital bed. The treatment was brutal. 3 months in, the tumors stopped growing. Sarah cried. Hope. Mariah started writing a song called Butterfly. 6 months in, she started responding better. The doctors warned her. This was a marathon. No guarantees. Around this time, Mariah's lawyer called. I found him. Marcus Reeves. Still in the industry. At Sony, your label. The phone nearly slipped from Mariah's hand. Sarah wasn't his only victim. At least 6 others in the 90s. Same pattern. Mariah felt rage building. I want everything on him. Over the next few weeks, the lawyer built a file. Marcus Reeves. Real name Marcus Thornton. Fake sessions, fake contracts, fake promises. Then vanish. Change his name. Start over. At month 8, Sarah left the hospital. Not cured, but stable. She moved into a new apartment Mariah arranged. Lily started at a better school. She was thriving. One evening, Mariah visited. We found him. The guy who scammed you, Marcus Reeves. Sarah's face went pale. How? My lawyer found him. He's been doing this for decades. Still in the industry. At Sony, my label. Sarah stared at her. I want to confront him, Mariah said. And I think you should be there. Sarah shook her head. I don't know if I can do that. I think you can. I think you need to. You need to look him in the eye and show him he didn't break you, that you survived, that you won. Sarah was quiet for a long time. Finally, she nodded. I need time to be stronger first. Take all you need. Over the next 4 months, Sarah pushed hard. Physical therapy, counseling. She started playing guitar again. At the 4-month mark, full remission. The scans were clear. Victory tears. She'd won. She called Mariah. I'm ready. They made the plan. Mariah's manager set up a meeting with Marcus about new talent. Marcus had no idea what was coming. The meeting was set for a Tuesday afternoon. When Marcus walked in, he was all smiles. Designer suit. Expensive watch. Looking successful. Mariah, this is an honor. I've got some incredible artists I want you to hear. He pulled out his phone. There's this girl from Brooklyn. Reminds me of you at that age. With your guidance, she could be huge. Mariah just looked at him, said nothing. The door opened. Sarah walked in. Marcus stopped mid-sentence. The color drained from his face. His eyes went wide. For a second, he looked like he might run, but Mariah was between him and the door. Sarah? Marcus stammered. What? How? Hello, Marcus, Sarah said quietly. Her voice was steady, calm, stronger than she'd felt in years. Been a long time. Marcus's mouth opened and closed. No words came out. Sarah's hands were shaking. She clasped them together. She'd rehearsed this moment 100 times, but now that she was here facing him, all those prepared words vanished. She just looked at him. This man who'd stolen everything. He looked older, successful, like he'd been living a good life while she'd been dying. "I want you to look at me," Sarah finally said. She stepped closer. Her heart was pounding. "Really look at me. You remember what you did?" I don't know what you're talking about." Marcus's eyes darted to Mariah, trying to read the situation. "Sarah, listen, I think there's been some kind of misunderstanding." "Don't." Sarah's voice cracked. She took a breath, steadied herself. "Don't lie, not now. You took everything from me. My money, my trust, my dreams. You made me sign fake contracts, promised me a future, and then you vanished." She was right in front of him now, close enough to see the sweat forming on his forehead. "Do you know what happened after you left? Do you care?" Marcus held up his hands. His voice changed, smoother. The same voice he'd used 25 years ago. "Sarah, look, I was young back then. We both were. I made mistakes, yeah, but I was trying to help. You have to understand, the industry is complicated. Sometimes things don't work out the way we plan. I had debts, people breathing down my neck. I wanted to make your dreams happen, I really did, but..." "Stop!" Sarah felt rage building, white hot. All these years she'd blamed herself. Thought she'd been stupid, naive, and here he was, still lying. Still manipulating. "You weren't young. You were 32. And it wasn't a mistake. You knew exactly what you were doing." Her voice got louder, stronger. "You did it to 6 other people, at least probably more. You're still doing it. Still taking money from people who trust you. Still crushing dreams because you're too much of a coward to build anything real yourself." Marcus's face changed. The fake sympathy dropped. Something cold flickered in his eyes. "You know what? Maybe I did take your money, but you were never going to make it anyway. You weren't good enough. You didn't have what it takes. I did you a favor. Saved you years of rejection." The words hit like a punch. For a moment, Sarah was back in that tiny apartment. Broke, pregnant, believing she deserved nothing. But then she thought of Lily, of the past 2 years, of everything she'd survived. "You're wrong," she said quietly. "I had to give up music. Worked 3 jobs. Raised my daughter alone. And then I got cancer. Stage 3. Almost died." She paused. Let him see the scars, the thin frame, the evidence of her fight. "And the whole time I wondered why. Why did you do it? Was it just money? Was it fun for you? Did you enjoy crushing people's dreams?" Marcus looked away. Couldn't hold her gaze. "But here's what you need to understand," Sarah continued. Her voice was clear now, strong. "You didn't break me. You tried. God knows you tried. But I'm still here. I survived cancer. I raised an incredible daughter. I'm making music again. And people are listening. Really listening. Not because I'm famous, but because my story is real. Because I survived. Because I fought back." She stepped back, looked at him with something close to pity. "So whatever you thought you took from me, you didn't. You failed. I won. And you?" She shook her head. "You're just a sad man who feeds on other people's dreams because you never had the courage to chase your own." She turned to Mariah, nodded. They walked toward the door. Marcus just sat there, deflated, small. "Wait," he called out, his voice desperate now. "Please, I'm sorry. I really am. I was different back then. I've changed. If I could go back, if there was anything I could do to make it right." Sarah stopped, looked back at him one last time. "I don't forgive you," she said simply. "And I'm not here for your apology. I'm here to tell you that you don't get to win. People like you don't get to win anymore." They left. As they walked down the hallway, Sarah's knees nearly gave out. Mariah caught her elbow. "You okay?" She nodded. Couldn't speak yet. Her whole body was shaking. But not from fear. From relief. From release. From the weight of 25 years finally lifting off her shoulders. 2 days later, he was fired. The file Mariah's lawyer had compiled went to HR and to the police. And to the media. Marcus Thornton was charged with fraud. Multiple counts. His career was over. His reputation destroyed. Justice, finally. But Sarah didn't feel the satisfaction she'd expected. Just relief. Just closure. Just the ability to let go and move forward. That's when Mariah asked her to record Butterfly. Sarah was terrified. She hadn't sung in 15 years. Her voice was different now, rougher, scarred by illness and time. The morning of the recording, she almost didn't go. Stood in front of her bathroom mirror trying to breathe. "You can do this," she whispered to her reflection. But her hands were shaking. When she walked into the studio, everything came rushing back. The smell of the space, the equipment, the lights. She was 23 again, full of hope. Before Marcus, before everything, Mariah was already there. She saw her face. "Hey, you okay?" She nodded. Couldn't speak. She led her to the booth, showed her the track, hit play. The music washed over her. It was beautiful, haunting. It was her story. Every note, every chord. When it finished, she had tears in her eyes. "I don't know if I can do this," she said. Mariah leaned forward. "You already did the hard part. You survived. This?" She gestured to the mic. "This is just telling people about it." She put on the headphones, stood at the mic, closed her eyes, started to sing. For the first verse, her voice was quiet, uncertain. But as she got to the chorus, something shifted. She opened her eyes, looked at Mariah through the glass, and sang louder, stronger. By the second verse, she wasn't reading lyrics anymore. She was living them. Every word of pain, every moment of fear, every second of hope. Halfway through, her voice cracked. Not from weakness, from emotion. She stopped, covered her face with her hands. "I'm sorry. I can't." Mariah hit the talkback. "Don't apologize. That was perfect. That crack? That's the truth. That's what people need to hear." She paused. "You want to take a break?" Sarah shook her head, wiped her eyes. "No, I want to finish." She took a breath, started again. This time when her voice cracked, she didn't stop. She leaned into it, let the emotion flow through her. Let the pain out. Let the healing begin. When she hit the final note, she held it. Let it ring out. Let it fill the space. Then silence. She opened her eyes, looked at Mariah. She was staring at her. When she finished, nobody moved. The sound engineer took off his headphones slowly. One of the producers leaned back in his chair, eyes closed. Another just shook his head like he couldn't believe what he'd heard. "That was incredible," someone finally said. Sarah stepped out of the booth. Her legs felt weak, but her heart felt light, like she'd just set something free, something she'd been carrying for 25 years. The song reached the people who needed it. Messages poured in. "Your story saved my life." This was why she'd survived. 2.5 years later, Sarah performs occasionally. Small venues. Real stories. She still has scans every 3 months. The cancer could come back, but she's learned to be grateful for each day. Lily's 13 now. Writes songs, but she's also just a kid. Movies, soccer, homework. Normal life. Mariah still visits every week. Sunday dinners, holidays, studio sessions. Family now, by choice, by struggle, by love. One evening, they're sitting on Sarah's balcony, watching the sun set over New York. The sky's orange and pink and purple. Beautiful. "Can I ask you something?" Sarah says. Mariah looks over. "Sure, that night, at the Blue Note in 1991. Why did you come talk to me? Everyone else was laughing. Why did you care?" Mariah thinks about it. "Because I knew how it felt. To be laughed at. To be told you don't belong. And I saw something in you. Real talent. Real passion. I didn't want you to give up just because some people were too stupid to see it." She pauses. "And you said something to me that night I never forgot. About not forgetting where I came from. I've thought about that a million times. Especially when things got crazy. When fame and money started changing everything around me. Your words kept me grounded." Sarah smiles. "I wrote a song about that night. About you. About what you said to me." Mariah sits up. "Really? Can I hear it?" Sarah shakes her head. "Maybe someday. But not yet. It's not finished." "When will it be finished?" "I don't know. Maybe never. Some things are meant to stay mysteries. And there it is. The thing that'll never be fully explained. The song that exists somewhere. Written but never recorded. Heard but never shared. A secret between her and the universe." Lily comes onto the balcony. Sits between them. "What are you guys talking about?" "The past," Sarah says. "And the future," Mariah adds. "The future's gonna be good," Lily says. "I can feel it." They sit in comfortable silence. Watching the city lights come on one by one, 3 people bound by impossible circumstances, by music, by love, by something bigger than all of them. Mariah thinks about that night, about the choice she made to stop, to listen, to help, about how one moment can change everything. She still doesn't have all the answers, still doesn't fully understand why their paths crossed when they did, still wonders about that song Sarah won't let her hear. Maybe she'll never know. Maybe that's okay. Some mysteries don't need solving. Some stories don't need perfect endings. Sometimes the journey is enough. And as they sit there together, she realizes this isn't just Sarah's story, or Lily's, or even hers. It's everyone's story. Everyone who's struggled, fallen, gotten back up. Because that's what music does. It connects us, reminds us we're not alone, gives us hope when we need it most. And sometimes, if we're very lucky, it saves our lives. Who do you think is in that mysterious song Sarah wrote about that night? Drop your theories in the comments. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more real stories about survival and second chances. Comment which artist's journey you want to hear next.